Hey there, it's Poul Mark with the Transcend Coffee video podcast. And today we wanted to finally get around to talking to you about the Technivorm. Obviously you can see that we have the Technivorm all lined up here in front of us. It's the brewer that we sell because it's the brewer we believe in. And we wanted to walk you through just the simple parameters of brewing coffee on this machine and talk a little bit about the benefits of this machine so that you maybe understand why we like this machine and why we're such big fans of it. All right, so let's talk about the Technivorm. The Technivorm brewer is obviously the machine that we're most excited about in terms of home brewing coffee with a drip brewer, a filter brewer as they call it in Europe. The reason why we're so excited about this coffee maker, number one, for me anyways, one of the main things is it's not made in China. It's actually handmade in Europe, in the Netherlands, at a factory where 180 or so individuals come to work every day and they put this thing together by hand. They're all hand inspected. So it's a pretty unique thing in today's age of mass manufacturing. So a great reason alone just to consider this great brewer. But more importantly for that, in terms of brewing coffee, it does two things really well. It gets coffee, it brews with the water, gets water hot enough for proper brewing, and it brews in a very short duration of time. This thing gets water up to over actually 200 degrees Fahrenheit at the filter or at the brew arm, and it brews in about 6 minutes. So those are two really important things when it comes to brewing coffee at home that most other or almost all other home brewers do not accomplish. They don't get the water hot enough and they take way too long to brew the coffee. So I'm going to start the process in terms of getting this coffee started, show you the brewing, and I'll talk about some of the other features and why we like this brewer as we go along. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this coffee reservoir, water reservoir here, with 1 liter of water. This is a European-made coffee maker, so it is a 10-cupper, but 10 cups in Europe is 1.25 liters. But I'm only going to brew 1 liter today. That's what I normally brew at home, is 1 liter of coffee. And so the correct proportion of coffee grounds to 1 liter of water is 60 grams for every 1 liter of water. So that's what I'm going to do now, is measure out 60 grams of coffee. And I encourage you to get yourself a scale. Scales are great to have not only when making coffee at home, but when you're cooking. There's a lot of good reasons to have an accurate kitchen scale in your kitchen. So 60 grams of coffee. There we go. And then, of course, we want to grind this fresh. I'm just going to step away to the back bar here and grind this coffee. Freshly grinding your coffee before you brew is very important, as all those volatile gases are still present in the coffee grounds, and you're trapping those inside the brewed coffee, and that's what gives you all the flavor and the aroma that you really want. So that's critically important. And if you haven't already watched our podcast on grinders, then I encourage you to do that, because obviously a grinder is a very important tool when brewing coffee. But for the purposes of this, I've ground this now at around a medium grind. So we're going to load this filter basket. We're using actually a Swiss Gold filter, which you can see here. So we're using a Swiss Gold filter. Obviously, this is a good filter in terms of home brewing. It's permanent. You can wash it and reuse it over and over and over again, so good for the environment. As I said before, this brewer, why we like it so much is because it heats water very quickly and very efficiently, and it gets it up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and the way it does that is it flash heats the water in the boiler, and the water will not travel up the dispense tube and out the filter arm until it reaches that temperature. So 200 degrees Fahrenheit, consistent brewing temperature, which is perfect for coffee. All right, I'm going to turn this on. It has a safety switch here as well that has to be depressed, so that if the coffee maker comes away from the carafe comes away from the filter basket, you won't have coffee spilt all over your kitchen counter. We like this model. This is the KBT 741, and the reason we like this model is because it actually brews into the double-walled stainless steel filter, or carafe, sorry. Technivorm does sell some other models, glass carafe models, but they sit on a hot plate, and that's not really what we espouse if you're not drinking coffee right after it's brewed, and most people just don't do that. So this is a great way to brew your coffee into a stainless steel carafe. One of the things I like to do is before I brew, actually there's a switch here that either shuts the filter basket off, or you can set it on half. And when I start a brew, I like to actually have the filter basket closed for a little bit. It allows me to pre-wet the grinds and make sure that they're fully saturated before I open the filter basket up and allow the brewing process to take place. As you can see right now during this brew process, we're using really fresh coffee. It's our Caratina, our Kenyan. It was roasted today. It's a bit too fresh, and you can see this bloom that's coming up. That's all the gases that are actually emitting from the freshly ground coffee, and it's a function of fresh coffee. So that's why you see that bloom. If you're not using really fresh coffee, you won't see that happen. All right, so we've talked a little bit about the temperature of the water brewing. We've talked about the construction. That's another reason we really enjoy this coffee maker. Is it's so simple. I get asked all the time by people, Paul, why should I spend $300 on a Technivorm when it doesn't have an automatic shutoff, it doesn't have a timer, it doesn't have a grinder, it doesn't make the coffee for me before I get up out of bed, all these things. And my simple response to you is it's well made, it's simple, and it just works. And there's really no better reasons to consider the Technivorm than those simple reasons. It's well made, it's well constructed, it's simple to use, simple to clean, and it works. When I was in Holland in September last year at a Technivorm gathering, I got a chance to tour the factory. It was a great opportunity. We'll have a display of some of that footage in another video that we're going to do on Technivorm, a little bit of story of the factory and the history of this coffee maker. They've been around for over 40 years now. There are actually some people in Europe now that have been using the same brewer in their kitchen year after year for over 26 years. So this brewer actually has a 5-year warranty in Europe. They're thinking of switching that to 10 years. Currently we offer a 1-year warranty, but we're flirting with the idea of offering a 5-year warranty in Canada as well, just because we trust the quality of construction of this brewer so much. The other thing that I alluded to that makes this brewer really great is the duration of the brew time. Start to finish, 6 minutes. Most other brewers that you'll find on the marketplace hover somewhere between 8 to 12 minutes to get a pot of coffee done. Most other brewers temperature surf, so you'll see the hot water come in and dispense out, and then the hot water falls away, and so you have this surfing effect with the water temperature that fluctuates between 160 and 185 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's just not hot enough to properly extract the coffee. So 200 degrees is perfect, and it does it in a very short period of time. So that's really, in a nutshell, why we're so stoked and why we're so excited about the Technivorm home coffee brewer. It's simple, it's clean, it's stylish, and it works. And it's the only one we sell because it's the only one we believe in. And so to top it off, it's one of, I think, only 2 brewers for home use on the market right now that has achieved the status of having the Specialty Coffee Association of America and the Specialty Coffee Association of Europe's seal of approval on a brewer for home use. So there you have it. In a nutshell, the Technivorm: hot, fast, and efficient, easy to use, and I really commend it to you. Try it. If you're someone who doesn't like the fuss and muss of a French press, or the heavier, siltier body that a French press produces, or the finickiness of a Chemex or a pour over, then consider this. This is a great way to make coffee very efficiently in the mornings, or whenever you brew coffee, and it just works really well. So if you want more information, please check out our website, www.transcendcoffee.com, and you can purchase this machine there as well. All right. Until next time, actually next time for me is Ethiopia. I think we'll be doing a live, or maybe not live, but I'll do a remote filming from Addis in Ethiopia. I'm going there for the round table in 2 weeks, and the plan is that I'll film myself and upload it, and James will do his magic, and we'll get a video to you from Ethiopia next go round. So until then, remember, drink less more often. Cheers.